everyone, welcome to another episode of Speedcars Down Under. This is actually 2 weeks in a row we've actually been able to put a show together. Normally lately we've had a show and then have a couple of weeks off and then have a show because either Paul's doing something or I'm doing something. But yeah, welcome to the show, and hopefully tonight's going to be a wicked show. Actually, sorry for my voice and my nose. I'm a bit on the woggy side after being at Mildura on the weekend. I've come back to Tassie, it's cold and got the wog. But anyway, we'll deal with it and keep plodding along. On the show tonight, Paul, welcome, mate.
Hello, mate. How are you?
Oh, yeah, not too bad, mate. Living the dream, mate, as you do. Speedway season's in full flow at the moment, and it's just awesome. I love it. It's just, it's that time of year, mate. You can't be sad about Speedway, can you?
Of course you can't, mate. No, you guys are lucky. We're sort of in our off-season up there.
Oh, you're in off-season up there. Yeah, you'd be sucking it up big time, wouldn't you?
Yeah, so yeah. But no, it should be right. Won't be long and we'll be back into it.
Excellent. And our special guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, is the current, I think I got this right, the current Queensland President and car owner, Dave Palmer. Welcome, Dave.
Welcome, boys.
I did get that right, didn't I?
Yep, that's right. I'm been president for the last 2.5 seasons anyway, so must be doing something right. No one kicked me out yet.
Either that or no one just doesn't want to do the job.
That too.
Excellent. It's great to have you on the show, mate. Righto, let's start her off then, fellas. John Day Classic. Caden Manders, what can you say? You know, he jumps in the speed car, wins the John Day Classic, then jumps in the sprint car, wins the sprint car title in WA. Like, how good is this young fella? Like, honestly.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's definitely going to be, a standout this year, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Caden
Especially with the new car and package they got there. Like, them boys put a good car together and he's got a good crew chief, so... Yeah, he'll be the number one over there, I think, hard to beat,
yeah. Who's his crew chief, Dave?
I've just forgotten his name. I watched a couple of YouTube videos they had, and I've forgotten his name. I'm sorry to him, but yeah, he's done a couple of trips to America and whatnot.
Yeah, righto.
Obviously been around with Dan Harding for like over 10 years, so no, it seems pretty switched on and on the ball.
Cool.
Yeah.
And to beat Caden Brown come home in second and Harry Stewart in third. Like, Caden Brown is on a roll at the moment, and to beat him is like, that's a big statement in itself, you know. Like, he's such a good driver, but you know, and Harry Stewart come from the rear of the field, I think, if that's right. Is
that's
that right?
correct.
Yep.
I'm probably a bit biased, and I'm going to talk him up, but that's right. He, I think he was supposed to start out of grid 5 or 7 or something like that, and it jumped out of gear, and he had to be push started, so he had to go to the back, and then he probably had a couple of lucky yellows there halfway through, but come home third, just beating young Fleming. He's another good talent there, Fleming.
Yes, he is. Yeah. No, that was a good run by Harry, that's for sure. And he's definitely another one to be watching hard this year too.
We've got some great young talented drivers coming into speed cars now. It's great to see. Like, I'm only new to speed cars, I will admit that, but I've done a little bit of research, and the younger generation coming into speed cars now, they are all top drivers. Like, and it's great to see the speed car division bringing in younger fellas. You know, the younger fellas want to get into that division. It's great to see, I think. What do you blokes reckon?
Yeah, it's a lot of second generations and thirds floating through, but we're lucky here in Queensland. We've had a real good influx of Formula 500 kids coming up now, and compact guys switching over, so we're pretty lucky here that half our field is, they all say like young Bailey Leeson and that he's a new kid, but he's been racing 500s for a while, and they all, have pretty good backgrounds. Like Harry's had background in compacts, and I think the sprint cars helped him run the midget, but good to see that a lot of the next generation coming through, and a lot of girls. We got 3 girls coming. We got 2 at the moment with another one coming, so we're doing pretty well here.
Excellent, excellent. Also on the weekend we had the ACT Speedway Australian Capital Cup. Unfortunately, Mother Nature won there, and we had a washout before the feature. Got all the heats in, but then all the feature was washed out, so unfortunately they didn't get that in, which is a bit of a shame. Other news, Caden Brown is going to Chili Bowl to race with Christopher Bell Racing. How good will that be for Caden Brown?
Yeah.
He'll have a good shot in one of them cars. Like, obviously he has a good relationship with Chris and all them guys there, but that's a pretty good shot at trying to make the A main. So hats off to him, mate. And like you said, his driving at the moment is, if I can put it, he's 10 tenths at the moment, where all the other guys are probably sitting 9 tenths. So he's reading tracks pretty good. And he's got a good crew chief with Brad Dent behind him here, and his dad Mark. But like you say, young Harry Stewart going over as well. He should do a lot better for his second attempt now with the Spike team with Mark Cooper and the guy that owns the car there. So Zoe Pierce should go better with her second attempt now. In a Mopar, I'm Mopar bias, but in the Mopar.
Well, Corey Day sort of proved the other day that Mopars are still all right, you know.
Especially the old W9s, mate. Yeah, old Bob Worth W9. Yep, she hammers along, mate. Plenty of torque.
No, I think once again, I'm a big fan of them. I reckon they're a good engine, you know, like the package and all that. They're not over expensive, and they seem to go really good on the nights, you know.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's good. It's quite close at the moment. Like, apart from Caden Brown winning everything, apart from on the weekend, it's quite close with all the other cars. It's just they need to catch up just that little bit to Caden, and things will be a lot closer, I think, in the racing side of things.
So, you've got to understand too, people like Harry and Caden, you know, like they jumped into other people's cars, so they're not actually driving their own either. So
that
that's
does
something
make a difference.
I think it's a credit to them to be able to go there, jump, you know, take a seat over. And maybe a shock package or whatever, but to be able to jump in someone else's car and adapt that quick to it, it's pretty good.
100%, Paul. I think some people don't quite just grasp that even if it is the same make chassis or maybe same motor, no two cars are exactly identical.
No.
And for them guys, that's right, to just put their seat in, jump into even a foreign crew chief, even. They do really well, mate, and that shows the class of drivers that they are, like, you know, exactly Caden and young Harry Stewart and a few others. Like Caden come over and ran for the Hardwire team, and probably was just trying his first night out, trying to find his feet and trying to find the car, but the second night he definitely improved. Shame we couldn't give him a better track to try and race on, but
Awesome. So, Dave, tell us your story, mate. Where did it all begin for you, and what got you involved in Speedway originally?
Well, I guess like most of us, we're all second-gen racers. My dad raced stock cars and did drag racing, so we and he's a mechanic, so we grew up around it. We didn't know any different. I got a younger brother, Brendan, who was pretty well-known driver through the 2007s to he was still driving for me up until a couple of years ago, and then sort of hurt his back and had to give up. But so we sort of grew up around it. Early 80s, Jim Holden got a midget. My father worked underneath Jim's workshop and worked on preparing those engines and whatnot for Jim, and then back then you could start crewing when you were 12, mate. We didn't have quads and that. You were 12 years old and you pushed the midgets out on the track. And
I remember that up here at Northline. That's what we used to do up there.
No one got run over, Paul, did they?
No. That was the thing. No one did. And same was like the guys starting them up in the pits with the sprint cars and other things like that, you know, like, guys were sitting there with T-shirts, shorts and a cigarette going. So,
No, I was pretty fortunate that I grew up around, like I said, Jim Holden through the 80s. He won the Australian, last Queenslander to win an Australian title in 85 in Victoria.
What a classic name, Jim Holden, like when you go back into the good old days.
Yeah, mate, he made a name for himself in saloon cars and midgets. He started in saloon cars, and then he had to have a holiday in I think it was 87. I think 87 he had to have a holiday for 12 months. So he had Ted Tracy come over from New Zealand. Greg Hansford drove his car for a meeting there. So there's a few guest drivers. Brian Farley was another one. And about that time I started my apprenticeship as a spray painter. So Sumner Park, where my dad had his workshop. Keith Hutton had his V4 midget there that Dad sort of helped, like all the Sumner Park guys, I guess you call it, the gang, all helped each other. And yeah, Friday, it was nothing Friday night or Saturday morning, you'd start a midget up around the track and around the road, and next minute Keith would get his out as well, and there'd be a couple of midgets running around Sumner Park warming up or testing. So I was pretty fortunate. My brother was about 7 to 10 through those years, so he was a little bit young, but I guess that's where he got the bike from too. We did go-karts from then. And then in 95 I decided to give go-karts up and actually go speedway, do what I wanted to love, and bought a leader car. I know it had a wing on it. I know I'm a bit of a girl. I had a wing on it. But I was fortunate enough to get a drive in a rotary-powered midget in 97 with the Truscott family, and I got Rookie of the Year that year, and that was it. Get rid of the ring. I couldn't afford a midget, so I bought a compact. And that's when I got my brother into it. I got him into a leader car when I was actually running the midget. I said, have a go at these things, mate. You'll never go back to go-karts. And he crashed it the first night, wrote it off. But as they say, the rest was history from there on in. And another name you know of, Paul Murphy, he was around for all that. Paul was our adopted brother, and he had to fix that car because Brendan always managed to suck Paul into doing all the spanner work somehow. So, that was the tie-up, mate. That's how I've been in it ever since. Raced till about 2000 when I had my first daughter, and then Brendan jumped in the compact then, and he sort of took off as the main driver. And 2007 we sold the compact and bought the Seamount Special, the Michael Pickens Seamount Special out of New Zealand, and went to Western Australia that year. Jack Berry took us over. He said, you got to race. Took us over, and that was a non-event for us. Brennan was actually coming second with about, I think, 6 or 7 laps to go when Neville Lance's engine seized, and Brennan got into the back of him, and Neville pulled infield, and the chief steward, who named nameless, put Brennan to the rear of the field, saying he was the cause of the...
Oh, really?
And to Neville Lance's credit, Neville realised what was going on and was saying, oh, no, I blew an engine. It wasn't his fault, but by then it was too late. Green lights are on, and Brendan come back to 5th then. We were in the engine measuring shed, and they said, do you want to protest? And typical nightmare, brother, what's the point, mate? Nothing's going to change. So, we've had a few seconds in the Australian titles, mate, but never cracked one yet. But
I was going to say, because you've come close a few times, haven't you?
Yeah, we've had preliminary nights. He's won a fair few preliminary nights and state titles and that, but we've never cracked an Aussie. We always wanted to get the next one after Jim. We always wanted to be the next Queensland to have our name. On that sure. Never happened, mate.
Yeah. You never know.
No, Harry Stewart will be the next, I reckon. Harry Stewart.
Excellent. And
well, I'm hoping Nick Parker will be,
Me and you both.
Oh, well, it is one of his favourite tracks this year, or next year, so
yeah.
Well, actually, it makes it pretty. This is why I like Simpson. I think it'll be a very even race this year. With it's very much up to a crew chief and the driver to nut that track out. So it's a pretty even track. You've got to have a bit of power, but horsepower is not everything there. So. Yes, this will be a real test of an Australian title.
Yeah, I reckon it will be too. Yeah, and it is on its nights. It's a fast little track too. It'll be good.
I love it. Been there 3 times. Love
it.
Yeah.
And you mentioned Paul Murphy. What a crew chief he is. Like, what was he like to work with, Dave?
I'm actually so he's our adopted brother. He's him and my brother. He'd been mates since like 12 years old from their go-kart days, and Paul literally lived at our house from, I think, about the age of 16, I think, and was always tinkering around with us, like helping Brendan fix his race cars and rollovers and shit. But then when we decided to go midget racing, he has a very good brain and very good memory as well. And he'll tell you, from growing up with my old man's very methodical. Was very methodical about building race cars. Like, that's where it's won or lost. We very rarely ever in our whole careers ever had mechanical issues, So Paul, I would rate as in the top 3 crew chiefs in Australia at the moment in the midgets. You know, Brad Dent would be another one there, but Paul's very, very switched on. Like we grew up around Tim Clark, so we've always had Clark cars. He's always worked closely with Tim and Michael Pickens and learned a lot with all the trips to America. So yeah, mate, he's one of the top 3 crew chiefs in midgets at this present day.
Yeah.
And to everyone at home that don't know a lot about Speedcars and Speedway and that, how important is a crew chief to make a good team?
Mate, that's really good question, because a lot of people probably don't understand that. With midgets especially, I hate to take a lot away from the drivers, but it's got to be at least 50%, 40%, 50% of it, because that crew chief, what we see from the track in, is not necessarily what that driver's seeing, and vice versa. So it's a good combination. The driver's got to give you the right feedback, how he feels, and then you've got to see what you think the car's reacting or how that track's going, and then make the call. Paul's very good at putting a car around a race car driver. Very good. Like, my brother's another good crew chief, but we would call him what we call an aggressive crew chief, where he'll really attack the track, you know, like really try and give you a car. He works well with like Jack McCarthy. You can just tell Jack, like, mate, this is what we're doing, this is how you got to drive it, just hit it. And Paul's very good at reading what a driver wants and giving what a driver needs and what the track needs. So it's good to work with both them guys. Actually, I always just call it on the left-hand spanner, mate. I just spanner along whatever he tells me to do. I just throw the spanners at it, mate. So.
Awesome. And you're also a car owner, Dave. Who's driving your car at the moment, mate?
Well, I haven't had it going for over 12 months now. We've been building this engine, but we're close to getting it back. But Boyd Chaffee, he's out of 500s. He's the current 500 Queensland champion.
Yep.
And another young kid come out of 500s, mate, was a gun straight away. Wanted to give the young fellas a go. His dad's an ex-racer. His dad knows what it's all about, mate. Couldn't work with a better guy working with Chaff, mate. He's another methodical guy. Everything done in the shed, mate. You know.
And you know, his name's been around Queensland for a long time in midgets too. So
done the Super Series with us back in the day, and whatnot. Chaff's been around, like with Lindsay Brown and whatnot. So
Is it?
We've had other good drivers, like when Brendan hurt himself the first time, we got Matt Jackson in it. Harley Smee. We always wanted to give Nathan Smee a bit of a go. But we got Caleb in it and Jack from the SA6 guys. They come up and had a run. But then Brendan tried to run again, and I think he got about 5 meetings in and hurt his back again. So unfortunately, the doctor said, mate, I think it's time. So since then, we've had Boyd in it. So
he'll do all right.
Yeah, mate, he's a gasser, and they'll go on. They'll probably eventually get their own car and go on their own way. And we've got a young fella in a compact now. He's actually, believe it or not, his dad has been our crew for like 35 years or something. So he's another second generation kid coming through. He's done his apprenticeship in go-karts. He's in a compact at the moment in the DRE 41 for Dan, with his Brendan's father-in-law. So we're blooding him in that, getting used to that, and then we'll blood him into the midget, and another young fellow will try and push through the midget ranks.
Cool,
good. So and that's what the sport needs, people like yourself, mate, who does that and sort of got the mindset to want to keep doing it.
I can't give up. We tried giving up. We actually gave up. When I say Brendan gave up about 6 or 7 years ago, probably 8 years ago. And we crew chiefed for quite a few guys in that period, had mixed success. And then we just happened to be in an Australian title, and they had a bit of that. I was working for the Hardwire team, but my brother was crew chiefing for another guy. They had a bit of bad luck, mate. We were coming home, and I said to Brendan, you know what? Buy a midget, put you back in it, and we're going to have our own crack at it again. And he goes, mate, you're mad. Like, don't waste your money. And I'm like, no, just you write me a shopping list what you want, and we're we're going to do it properly and have another red hot crack. Because I can't give up, mate. I've got to be helping someone. I've got to be doing something. I just love midgets. Yeah.
Once it's in your blood, you can't stop. Whether it be midgets or speedway, full stop. Once it's in your blood, you don't turn away from it. I don't think. Like,
mate, I'm not painting. Like even now, I don't paint so much the modern day ones because they're all wrapped. But I still do quite a few vintage ones for guys. We got a couple of vintage guys here that have got a lot of classic cars that I paint up for them. That's right. So I'm always around it, no matter if it be work or play, mate.
Good stuff. So, what's your thoughts on the Queensland club this year? Like, you're showing good numbers, so is it heading in a good direction?
Yeah, mate. It was one of them situations when I got the car. Unfortunately, there was a couple of us that wanted to sort of go a certain way and do certain things, and it's just one of them generational things that unfortunately the committee probably at that time didn't want to quite go that way. So it was like we either put up and we don't go forward, or you put your money where your mouth is and you stand up. And we rallied 3 or 4 guys together and said, let's do it. Let's give it 3 years. Let's see what we can do. And that's exactly what we've done. I'm pretty proud that I like to think we've got back on track. We were down to like 7 race meetings a season. Yeah, and I've got it back to, I think we're like at this stage we're at 12 this year.
Awesome.
Looking at 14 next season. The car count's still the same. Everyone said, "Oh, you're going to lose cars," but I've managed to keep car count at the same. I've managed to keep the money the same, if not more money than what we've been running for. So, I'd like to think that we're doing the right thing.
When are we going to see an Australian title at Toowoomba, Dave?
Mate, we've been pushing this for like 4 years or so.
Everyone wants to go there to have an Australian title. I spoke to everyone at Murray Bridge, so they're keen to go to Toowoomba.
It's unfortunate. I'm all for national level. I work on a national level as well, and it is a roster system. Unfortunately, we have to wait 2 more years. It is New South Wales after Victoria and then us. But I work with Jaden Edge pretty well, and Jaden said, look, if we can't secure something next season within the next week or 2, yes, we can jump ahead and we'll have it at Toowoomba. And as you know, Ryan and Barry are chopping at the bit to have it, because I'll guarantee you, mate, we'll have 50 midget here. Like, this track is one of the best midget tracks in Australia, mate. Like, we will put on a show and have 50 cars here, mate, easy, I reckon.
Yeah, that's why they want to go there.
It is on its night when we run with sprint cars and they can push it up to the fence. We have killer races here, mate. So it's no different than Western Australia, but it's just smaller and it makes it easier on the engines and that for the guys here. And just awesome little track, mate. Awesome facility, and crew that work there, mate.
Paul, is it windy where you are?
Mate?
Yeah.
No. I've got a fan going.
Is that what it is? I'm getting a little bit of feedback. Don't stress. Like, I just thought I'd let people know that's why we're getting a bit of feedback. That's all good, mate. It's all good. Where's the Queensland title this year, Dave?
We're in Gladstone, which is a relatively new track, which is up Capricorn Coast area, up near Rockhampton. Another one, Bob McCosker built, and the club, Gladstone Club, built a track in the middle. I wouldn't say nowhere, but she's out in the bush a bit there. For $20 million, mate, it is one of the best tracks.
$20 million
to race. Yep, like if you think of what Sydney spent, you could have 5 racetracks in New South Wales, mate, for what Bob spent on that track up there. Like, absolute credit to him, mate, and a great track. We've raced there a couple of times. That's why I really wanted to get the Queensland title there, to support them and to show open wheelers, because it's very sedan based up north. As soon as you go out of Brisbane here, like to Maryborough and up, it's very sedan based. So we very much wanted to try and push open wheelers up there and showcase what we can do.
And have you found that the cost of things now is hurting the sport, or is there no difference to what it was, say, pre-COVID?
Look, I'll have to be honest. Yes, we are hurting. It is the American dollar kills us at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I think it's a bit more. It's a bit guys don't want to travel. They save their money in their holidays than what they used to.
Yeah.
Hence why we do get good numbers at Toowoomba, but we do struggle a little for the away tracks like Maryborough and Gladstone. But in saying that, this weekend we raced Gladstone. We've got 15 cars going, so that's hats off to all the boys to dip in and give it another crack. So I hope we can put on a good show there. And once again, we get our name out. Another sedan-based track, so good to get our open wheelers pushed in there, mate.
Yeah, for sure.
Did you say Gladstone's on this weekend?
No, Maryborough. We're Maryborough this weekend.
Yeah, right.
But Gladstone, January 17 is our Queensland title.
Yep.
And unfortunately, Harry misses out because he'll be at Chili Bowl, so he can't back to back his Queensland title.
He'll be spewing on that.
Well, he's a bit dirty on me for that one, but anyway.
And are nominations open as yet, Dave, or are we still waiting?
Not for the Queensland title, no. So we'll do that in the new year.
Yep.
We've got a December 27 meeting, which will be a tribute to John Dean, who was a past president and racer, and so he'll have his second and third generation racing that race. Brock's going to race, and his daughter Hayley, who's just started, she'll be racing as well. So that'll be pretty fitting for them, for that family to race in their dad's honour.
How cool's that?
It's great to see these girls jumping in them now. Like you look at 20 years ago, you didn't see females racing speedway much. Now they're jumping in, and most of them, Zoe Pearce for instance, they're just as good as any bloke is, like out on the track, which is a good credit to all the girls out there that are racing. It's great to see them on the track.
Yeah. And we were lucky. We've got quite a few 500, a lot of girls in the 500s here, which is good. And now once they've seen sort of Casey Black was one of them. She come to midgets, and they sort of see how Casey goes. Then Hayley wanted to have a go. Now we got young Amanda Chaffee, which is Boyd's sister. She's tending now to have a go, and I hope that entices the next. Like my daughter's always into me about she wants to run, but she just wants to jump straight into a midget and not do an apprenticeship, so to speak. And Dad hasn't got any money. I haven't got the money. But it is good to actually see a lot of girls interested in running that.
Yeah.
And when you actually talk to these girls, even though they don't really want to go to the sprint car path or LS path. No. They want to run a midget. They want to race a midget.
Yeah.
Which is good. Which I think is awesome, especially here in Australia.
Yeah, I'm biased. A midget, you got to race. You got to manhandle. You got to race. A sprint car, man, you just got to drive it.
Yeah, exactly.
I know I'm going to get crucified by a sprint car guys for saying that, but
I like both. I like sprint cars. I actually love sprint cars. I was brought up around sprint cars, but I also love speed cars too. But I do understand what you're saying. The speed cars are definitely a car you have to wheel and drive them hard. Where sprint cars, that wing makes a big difference on top. I'd still love to see a sprint car. Or I'd love to see a V8 in a wingless.
Mind you, take a wing off a sprint car, then you got a real race car.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. That's why I think wingless should be V8s. I don't think they should be V6s. I think it spoils the division. But
unfortunately, Jamie, if that happened, I'd be really scared that the speed car ranks would really dwindle. Dwindle.
And that was a big talking point with a couple of people we spoke to, Brett Ireland and a couple of other blokes. They reckon the same thing. If they put V8s in speed cars, it'd probably kill the speed car division.
Mate, I'd be totally honest, and I've said it before, because I raced the wingless 8 years ago. I raced a car for a season, and I said then, because they were pushing from back then, and I said, mate, even now, I would sell my midget and buy one if we could run them, and I'd make a comeback myself just to run for a season or two, just to race a V8 wingless sprint car. But unfortunately, it would definitely hurt our speed car ranks in Australia if we did that.
And I do apologise. I just called speed cars with V8s. No, it's wingless. V8s in wingless. And it hurts speed cars. Sorry.
And I totally agree with you there too, Dave. Like, I think you start putting like V8s in them, the wingless. Like, it will, have an effect on the speed car class.
And Speedcars so good because they've got such a variety of engines. You know, like there's not just like 410 sprint cars, for instance. They're running more or less the same engine, aren't they? Where with Speedcars, they're all running different styles of engines, which I think makes the class a bit more not. Oh, I don't know how to put it, but it makes it better, I think.
Yeah, it's not
more versatile, you know. But
Yeah, that's the word I'm thinking of.
Find
Yeah.
a good package, you know. Well, it's for my parts. I think they're a good package, you know, like anything Chev related. I mean, back in the day, they were running the Volkswagens, you know, the Rotaries. Well, they were fast when you could get them going, the Cosworths.
Yeah,
you know,
Volvos, Sigmas,
Sigmas,
Toyota, like they were running 3R Toyotas back in the day. Like, it's unfortunate midgets were our sort of own worst enemy in a way that with engines that, and I'll get crucified for saying this too, but unfortunately when Toyota come along and then built that particular engine, that purpose-built engine, it then took us to another level where we just went astronomical for price, especially with the way the American dollar is. Like, so you're talking over 100,000 for a Toyota now. You know, if you're buying the latest SR11X, you know, you're looking at 85 grand landed here. Same, you know, if you're going to buy a GRD Chev here, they're that much to put in. So it's unfortunate we went to that level pricing of an engine. If we could have kept it down around the 40,000, 50,000 for an engine, I think we'd have more guys in it as well. Because second-hand engines would only be worth 20 grand, you know, 15, 20 grand then. And hats off. Actually, one I've got to give hats off is to the Crouch family. Like, they ran that Nissan V6 in South Australia, and like, mate, that's very competitive. Very competitive. Cheap engine compared to what we're spending on our purpose-built ones. And she's keeping it like shit. Another female that's doing an excellent job. You know, like she can wheel that thing around.
She's done a really good job at Napa. That's for sure. I was really impressed.
And for people at home, and once again, what are the rules with the engines in these cars, Dave?
So pretty well much, we're open slather. Like when it's purpose-built, when we say purpose-built, we're talking about a cast block or a billet block, purpose-built midget engine. As long as it's under 166 cubic inches or 2.7 litre. But in Australia, we do run what we call a production car rule, where you can run meaning an engine out of a car, you can run up to 3 litre. So that gives them a little bit more of a just a little bit more of a leg up to be able to hang on to our end, you know, a purpose-built engine. You'll see like Tim Deveen's running the turbo Honda. When they're multi-valve, they've got to be under 2 litre. So they've got to be a 2 litre turbo or 2 litre supercharged engine.
Yeah, right.
We used to have a few supercharged engines back in the 90s and that. A few guys tried them, like supercharged Subarus, and Anthony Van der Eyden had a supercharged Fiat back in the day that used to glow orange, mate. That's when she was going.
Excellent. And of course,
I personally miss the days of the V4s. I'm an absolute V4 sucker, mate. I love a V4.
Yeah.
The Scat V4s.
Yeah, Scat, Autocraft, Wilson. Yeah. Even Keith's homemade one. Like, my dad had a bit to do with Keith's homemade engine that he had, and I just love that thing. Absolutely love that thing.
Yeah.
And now you got Michael Conway trying to develop the Honda motor too, which is good to see. That's
another good engine. Yep. But they've now gone from what was a budget engine to, if you want a top line one of them, you're going to spend 40, 50 grand on it now to have a top line Honda.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, at the Napa, it was so good. Hats off to Brett Lacey and Nick Lacey. It was so good to see so many Berettas on the track there at the Napa on the not last weekend, the weekend before. I don't think I've seen so many Berettas in the one spot.
Yeah, he's starting to get a push on now, like in the compact ranks and the midget ranks, and it's good to see an Aussie manufacturer getting his frames out there. Like we run CP3s that we had Breckers in the day, which are New Zealand built frames by Tim Clark. We always felt we had a bit of an edge with one of them compared to an American chassis, but I'll get crucified for saying that too because everyone runs a Spike. But these days that's it. Spikes. Because they're Mark's done well there to produce them and manufacture it. Same with Inslee with his Kings. The Kings are probably suited for our conditions coming from New Zealand. So, support your local, mate. I'd rather see people support their local chassis builder or engine builders, you know, GRDs and stuff. So, yeah.
And you said your brother went to New Zealand to race for a while. Dave, what was it like over there, mate?
Yeah, he got, actually, funny enough, we always say with Brendan there was pre-New Zealand and Brendan after New Zealand. So, before New Zealand, he used to wreck a lot of gear. We could change a front end in like, and Merkel, we could change a complete front end in like 15 minutes because he would buy one off every night we went out there. And then he went to New Zealand. And he probably won't dispute this. He got his ass handed to him on the first night. He did come in. I didn't actually go on that trip, but Paul was his crew chief, and he wanted to give up there. And then he said, "Mate, I can't even keep up. Like these guys are smashing on the roll-up laps. Like it is game on."
Yeah.
He copped a bit of stick from Scotty Hatton, one of the Americans that was pitted with him. He copped a bit of stick off him. We were pretty good mates with Michael Pickens, and Pickens come over and said to him, "Bro, what are you doing? You're like, this is what you got to do. This is where you got to go. This is, look, when you're here, do this, do that." And then the boys were onto it. And then I think he podiumed the third meet in the 40 lapper. He got a third there. He podiumed one. I think he ended up finishing 5th overall in points after that. Like, and then when he come back to Australia, mate, he was just like next level. Yeah, it just took him to the next level after racing them guys.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So they're that good a racer over there that they.
Oh, it's sick. Yeah, we were lucky enough. Me and Paul went over the last actual year of Western Springs when Larson and Bell and Pickens all had their rollovers down the back straight, and it is next level. Yeah. It is next level over there, and that's why they are so good.
Yeah. And they're not frightened, are they? They just drive straight through you over there in New Zealand.
Yeah. It's not purely that they're a better driver. Same when we say about the Americans. It's not the fact that they're better drivers. It's the fact that an American, for instance, is racing 3 times a week. How can an Aussie who races once every 3 weeks compete against a guy that runs 3 times a week? You know, so we're against the 8 ball there, and it's the same with the Kiwis. The Kiwis run that hard. Like Caleb made a comment to me when he raced my car. He said, "What is it with you Aussies, man? Like the first lap, it's like these are all gentlemen racing, sort of getting in your positions. Like they attack, mate. Like okay, they're attacking straight away. So it's just that fierceness and competitiveness that they have that little bit of an edge on us. But you know, Caden learned that going to America. He come back, look at him like, you know, I think Harry Stewart's at that level. There's a few guys in each state that are at that level, you know.
Oh, for sure.
The Australian title at Simpson this year is going to be very hard to pick. Like, if we get the good names there, like we have, you know, Harry Stewart, Caden Mendes, Caden Brown, Nick Parker. There's so many more I could name, but you know, we'd be here for ages. It's going to be so hard to pick a winner at Simpson because it's not just a horsepower track, is it? It's an actual. You've got to have your wits about you at Simpson, otherwise it's. You can go back.
I think it's right at Murray Bridge. Murray Bridge was a good race because there was no actual dominant person, and when you looked even at both weekends, when we had the second weekend of the 20,000 race, you know, like, you know, people sort of made the comment that Caden was so dominant, but. You know, Caleb was able to get one over him on the second weekend, but you know, there was anyone in that top 10 could have won that race, mate. Like when it was on the fence, and you're like 8 inches crash bar off the wall, mate, and that's racing, man. That was pretty cool to watch.
It was. It was awesome.
The Australian title was awesome to watch. It was a shame it got cut short. We ran out of time. It would have been good to see them last few laps because I think Nick Parker would have had. Was it Mosen to finish second?
No.
I'd like to. So I don't want to get myself in trouble here, but I seen their tyres after the race, and Jack McCarthy was running 4th at that stage, and I'd like to think that I reckon we could have got on the podium because Nick didn't look like he had much tyre left, and you know, neither did sort of Hayden Williams. So I'd like to think that 10 more laps, mate. Jack could have probably been on there.
Oh, for sure.
It would have been interesting.
That's something that I looked at too, was the tyre wear on the 2 top cars compared to Nick's, and thinking, oh, you know, 7 more laps. Like,
I think Jack was at Mildura on the weekend in the wingless, if I remember right.
He ran the wingless for the title,
He got held up into a nasty little bingle there at one stage in the final, which sort of put him back, but he was leading at that stage. But he's such a different driver in the wingless than what he is in the speed car. Like, I know they're different cars to drive, but it's like he's more gentleman in the wingless, where in the speed car he's more angry and.
It's actually he's I get on really well with Jack. He's pretty funny dude, as in he puts this. Well, I don't want to give his game away, but he puts this front up. He's this big angry man outside the car. But I tell you what, when you get him the helmet on, he's pretty level-headed. He knows he knows the game. He knows the job. I think the wingless he's a bit more comfortable because he knows he builds them engines. He knows them cars inside out. So he's very comfortable in one and knows what to do. Whereas the midget, he's finally starting to find his feet now. Like the last season, last 5 or 6 races since he's had this GRD, he's really starting to now come on. Like, you know, we're in for a shot at a podium no matter where we go with Jack now. So, hats off to the Hardwire crew, mate. 2 top-line cars, 2 identical cars. It's a massive effort to try and run 2 cars in one night. We did that with the Jack Berry crew, and my brother raced for Jack Berry, and we had Michael Pickens and Mosen running the other car. I mean, it is tough to run 2 cars in one night.
Yeah. Oh, for sure, it is.
You know, it's like these modern day sprint car drivers. They rate like, you know, Luke Storer, Dylan Menz racing the midget 1 minute, jumped straight into a sprint car and racing that. You know, that can't be easy for them to do. I remember Dylan Menz had an interview in Napa saying that it is hard for him. He seems to struggle in the sprint car when he's racing the speed car. But, you know, hats off to him to go out there and do that, because it is not an easy thing to do, race 2 different cars in one night.
And that's how you do pick your drive. Like Harry Stewart seems to do it here pretty well. The O'Connell boys do it here as well. I've got to give my hat off to Luke Storer. Like, I've known Tim Fisher there for quite a few years now, and seen Luke come through. Tim's another one that gives a young fella a go. And mate, that team has just come on leaps and bounds now. Like, if they can unfortunately get a few of them gremlins ironed out, mate, there's another one that can win state titles and have a crack at a national title, mate, you know?
Yeah. And that's a legend too, Timmy.
Yeah. Yeah, Luke Storer was at
mate. This is another thing I love about midgets, and I know I'll get crucified. Once again, I'll get crucified for saying this, but a wise old man, one of my sponsors, said this to me, and he sponsored sprint cars. He had sprint cars and midgets, and he goes, I can walk down that sprint car lane. The guys might give you a head nod or a finger wave, but they don't necessarily talk to you. You walk in the speed car pit, and everyone wants to talk to you. He's like an old legend in the speed cars, and that's what we found, travelling for so many years, that the friends you meet in other states, like, you know, from Tim Fisher, Troy Jordan, you know, the Hardwire crews, like, Piercy and all them, mate. It's that's more it for us is the after party, mate. You know, everyone's like-minded. Everyone loves the sport.
Yeah, Bo Doyle's team. You know.
And it's the characters that are in it too. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, I've met some really cool people now that are, you know, and have a good laugh. So yeah, it's good.
Actually, the Calcutta at the Australian title at Murray Bridge, I must admit, we've been to a few. That was one of the best ones. Everyone. There's banter going. Everyone was into it. Like, all the states. It was a really cool night. Alison did a great night to make that happen. Like, and hats off to her. It was one of the best I've ever been to.
Yeah,
like,
she does a great job. Alison does. Like, we'd love to have her on the show, but she's camera shy.
You'll never get her on.
When I was at Murray Bridge, she said to me, she said
we'll
to me,
get Big Mark on though. We'll get Harry on.
Harry's a specimen, but I got to say, a lot of people don't realise Alison is Speedcars Australia, mate. I'm telling you right now, she runs Speedcars in Australia. Like, without her, we would be dead in the water, mate. Her and her sister Donna, for the last 20 years, mate, have carried this sport and are so passionate about just keep driving it forward.
Yeah,
she spurs me on. That's what she's the one that gave me inspiration just to do this and work nationally, like to make this division grow, mate. So full props to her. She is Speedcars Australia.
She told me at Murray Bridge, you point that camera at me, Jamie, it's on. You keep that camera away from me. I said, oh, Alison, come on, just a quick interview. Like, you are Speedcars Australia. Like, you know, come on. Nah. I'm not going on camera, Jamie. But hats off to you, Alison. You do a great job, and everyone else that's in the whole crew. They do an awesome job. Right. So what's the plans for your car, Dave? Are we going to cert at the Australian title or?
Unfortunately, not. I'm still waiting for Pistons. The call I had a couple of weeks ago, they said it's 2 to 3 more weeks, but
Oh, wow.
I've heard that for the last 5 or 6 times.
Oh.
So, unfortunately, no, I won't be running my car down there, but I will be down there, no doubt, probably crew chiefing for Jack McCarthy again. So I'll give the hardwire. Whenever I'm not racing mine, I'm down there helping the hardwire team. You'll always see me on. Yeah, my disco ball hat on now. She's got me. I can't hide with that thing on, mate. I can't hide.
What's with the disco ball hat, Dave? Please tell us.
There was a joke once made. We talked about old school, and we got a bit of ribbing for being old school, called old school, and I actually said, well, I'm not old school, I'm actually 90s. I'm like 90s Dave. So Harry started this 90s Dave, and then Alison, took the ball and ran with it literally, and then she decided for the Australian title, I got to have Disco Dave hat on. So she's been there ever since.
That's awesome. That's awesome. They do such a good job, and they're such nice people. Like she's flat out the whole time she's at the track, and they promote the team so well. The cars are so I love them cars. The only thing I don't like is they're so hard to pick the difference. The only difference you can pick is pretty much the name on the front, and that's it. Unless you have a real good look at them. Why do they keep doing that?
Let's just say I have pushed the wrong car in once before, mate, where I picked up the wrong driver.
Yeah, right.
I did hear a story about that.
I got back to the pit and I'm wondering, why is he twirling into Caleb's pit? Like, what are you doing, Jack? And then I realised, oh shit, I got the wrong guy.
And they get
so even I have trouble, mate. I've told them they need a bit more purple, but she won't have any more purple on it. That's a running joke with Alison and me with purple. So and
are we going to get Tommy Payette back in the cars at one stage, you reckon, or?
I don't want to talk out of school. You may possibly see him get another run. I know that there's a few other willing participants that definitely want to get in that car.
Yeah, for sure.
So watch this. All I'll say is watch this space. Yeah, you'll. There's a couple of good drivers coming up, and they will get a chance. And them guys definitely want to. They're all, as much as we have fun as a group, it is all about winning, mate. Like, it's about getting on that podium, both cars on the same night. So, watch this space.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's why I sort of touched base with Harry a couple of weeks ago. So I thought, we'll get him on and we'll get him, to sort of tell us what's happening.
He doesn't know what's happening, mate. It's Alison that knows it. Harry doesn't know shit, mate.
He's all pick on him.
Mate, if you want to hear two wives fighting, you ought to hear Jack and him, mate. Yeah. Talking about them, he's kickboxing each other, mate. Like, it's like two old married couple, mate. Them two.
I can imagine.
They're a great team. They're such great people.
It's great entertainment.
I can't fault any of the teams really. They're all pretty friendly people, very family orientated. The Speedcar drivers that I've spoke to, and that's a credit because not all divisions are like that, and to have that in one division in the Speedcars is great. I think that's the Speedway of old, where
that's exactly right, Jamie. And I mean, we've been around. Like, I can tell you days in the 80s where the amount of pit fight, like the fights and that used to go on, and, even in Queensland we used to have like 4 sections. There was 4 pit areas, where guys would, and finally I think, especially in Queensland and Australia-wide, everyone pits together, everyone helps together, everyone has a laugh. It's very harmonious at the moment, and it's quite enjoyable.
Yeah. It certainly is. It's great for the sport, and I think it's great for everything, really. And we just need to keep making these Speedcars bigger and bigger, and get them more shows. I actually looked at the calendar today, and I'm thinking, geez, there's not a lot of runs for Speedcars on the calendar, like compared to sprint cars and super sedans and late models. Like, they seem to be on every second week, where you've only got 1 or 2 tracks that you got Speedcars on every week around Australia, which I think is. They need a few more, but that'll come in time, I suppose. Is that because of lack of numbers, Dave, or is it just that
It's a bit of a mixture between the states. For us here, it's because we lost Archerfield and we're just mainly Toowoomba dominant now, which is, an hour and a half up the road.
Yep.
We do all right as far as Toowoomba goes. Sydney is struggling, unfortunately, because of what's happening with Eastern Creek and then having to do their country shows. And they've hurt ever since COVID. Like, losing Parramatta absolutely killed New South Wales for a while there. With South Australia and Victoria, each era, like, it's hard to believe Victoria was one of the biggest states. Like, back in the 80s, it was like Victoria was huge, and South Australia, absolutely huge. And then they sort of took a bit of a dive, and unfortunately, they're just slowly getting back to double figures again now in both states. And Queensland was the same. Like, go back into the 90s, even 2000s, the numbers were very, very low. And then in the 2000, when the Australian dollar come good, we had like all our compact guys all said, well, we can get a midget for the same money. And we all jumped ship and went midget racing. So it's very much a wave, and each state has a wave. The ones I feel absolutely sorry for is Tasmania, man. I absolutely feel for Brock Webster and Leroy and the other guys there that you tried to make a go. We tried to get a deal happening with the boat to get like a couple of guys from each state. Let's go over there with like 12 cars and let's put on this awesome couple of shows and try and really pump Tasmania up so you can get a couple of more race meetings, because I really feel for you guys, man. Really do. He's Brock Webster and even Leroy, man, absolutely passionate guys, good steerers, and they can't get a gig in their own state, mate.
Luke Redpath, he's another one, great steerer, and he's gone to a wingless because we can't race Speedcars down here. Luke
Redpath, sorry, Luke's another one, mate. Yeah.
We have been told, though, if we can get 10 cars, we can race. But unfortunately, there's only 7 in the state. And Fred Freeman, he's got his up for sale at the moment. I think I seen online for sale not long ago. So he's obviously gave up on trying to. Well, we're not gave up on trying to get the division, but has gave up thinking the division's not going to come back to Tassie. And we've just brought in production sedans and junior 500s down here, which gives us 2 more divisions. And for such a small state, we have so many divisions. It makes it hard for everyone else, I think. But hopefully one day we will get back down here.
Like you're like us, Jamie. It is so sedan-based down there. It is hard to try and get a gig, an open wheeler to get a gig.
I mean, we've only got 8 sprint cars this year, where normally we've got 12, 15 cars. I know a lot of them are on the mainland. Jock Goodyear, Tate Frost.
Dion Appleby.
Dion Appleby. Who else is over there? Oh, there's a few, like Chad Gardner, he's over there. Ethan Wiley's about to go over. So it's sprint cars are in the same state down here, in the same boat at the moment. They're struggling for numbers. When you look at the sedans, we've got 35 registered super sedans. We've got 15 registered late models. So it makes it hard for the smaller divisions to get a race when they just haven't got numbers. Hopefully that changes. I know me and Brock Webster are going to try. He's on the mainland racing. We have spoke a couple of times, but I spoke to a couple of promoters and they said we need 10 cars. It's just simple as that. We need 10
and
cars.
We do have that rule up here too, Jamie. Like, that's what we find it hard when we go to a country track. And I understand what they're saying too. They need a minimum of like 8 to 10 cars to give us a show. And unfortunately, it is hard to try and get commitment from some of these guys to travel 4 hours or 7 hours up the road to promote a country track, mate.
I think what hurt the Speedcars down here the most was no offence to any driver, because they're all out there having a go, but I think what hurt us the most down here was we only had like 3 or 4 top cars that were real top speed cars, and the rest were just like weren't quite there. Weren't quite there. And I think because of that, the crowd didn't really get to see how good they really are. Which hurt the division as well. I think as well. And,
that's true. That's right, and that's why we really wanted to push to get some guys from the mainland to go over, put on a good show, and people go, "Wow, they're pretty cool."
I
Let's
know.
have a bit of that action.
Yeah, I'd love to put on a one night, two night show down here, and
Yeah.
you know, put 10 grand up for grabs and just bring them all down. But I don't know how possible that'll be in the future. We did speak about that, didn't we, Paul? After
Yes.
Murray Bridge, thinking about, you know, at least get them down here for a 2 night show, even if it's one meet in a year, and put up some big prize money and see who would come. But we sort of haven't got any further with that at the moment because, you know, numbers have dropped. You know, people are selling their cars.
Yeah.
So it makes it hard. But hopefully one day we'll get them back down here.
Yeah.
All right, Dave, before we go, mate, we're just about called the show for the night. Is there any people that you'd like to thank, sponsors, you know, people that help you out?
Well, actually, I do it pretty well much off knowing that, but no, I probably just got to thank my girls here at home. They put up with a lot. I'm always on the phone, like, just constantly on the phone, constantly talking speedway and racing, and they put up with a lot of crap. So, yeah, mainly actually just hats off to all the Queensland competitors for trying to make us have a go. Like, that's what's driving us forward, is all the competitors trying to band together and make it happen. So I hope every state, and even on a national level, like, if we can get, I don't think we'll ever get back to a super series, to be honest. It's just not economically viable, unfortunately, but if we could get to something like that again, it would only improve Australian speed cars in general. But
Yeah.
no, that's you know, yeah. I just got to. It's not all about me either here in Queensland. It's about it is a team effort. The committee we have now, a bunch of like-minded guys, which really helps when everyone's sort of on the same page, going the same way. So, yeah, hats off to Kelly, our secretary. I know she's done a lot to. We've had a lot of back issues and fixing of things, and her and Chris Foreman, another passionate midget guy that owns 2 midgets and a couple of compacts. Yeah, just gets in and helps and makes it, race meetings get done. So, yeah.
We need a state of origin series. I reckon that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we have talked about this. If we can maybe see what happens with Lismore, we're trying to negotiate, trying to get back with racing at Lismore. And yes, I've talked to Jaden Edge about the state of origin series.
That'd be good.
Yeah. We're trying a few different things here this season with a few reverse grids and marble draws just to spice it up, because that's what the crowd wants. It's not necessarily what the drivers want, it's what the crowd wants.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're the ones that buy your shirts, or they're the ones that jump on your podcast. They're the ones that actually, another one, hats off to Barry Lane. Like, this year is our 90th year, hence why we're having these 8 specific race meetings. We're actually 90 years. February 22nd, we have a race, 23rd, sorry, we have a race meeting here in Toowoomba, and that's exactly 90 years from when Queensland started.
Yeah, cool.
So, and Barry's been doing a generation every race meeting of speed cars. So if you jump on Queensland Facebook or even on our website, you'll see he has a little story, big story, and some pictures of each generation. He's up to the 60s now, or 70s.
Cool.
He's just done that one this week, so
I'll
I
take
can't
one.
wait to the 80s, because I'm an 80s, 90s man.
Yeah,
But,
me too.
mate, he's our historian. Actually, there's a new book out too. If you jump on his side, there's a new picture book out with all pictures from the Echo Queensland racing and whatnot.
Okay.
So, yeah, without these guys, even Dennis Newland in New South Wales, like, without these certain historians keeping this stuff alive, you know, we're the oldest automotive class speedway in Australia, mate. Like, bikes are a couple of years in front of us, the solos, but we are the oldest, mate. Like, and that's pretty cool to be in that.
Yeah,
I reckon.
It is.
so do I.
And it's great. It's great to see all these not older blokes, but all these people bringing back the vintage cars and restoring them. And, you know, we spoke to Ross last week. He was on the show. He's got so many to look at. You know, you've got Chaz
he's
Kelly.
got some cool cars. And had a lot of cool cars.
Yeah. You got
Ross was the one that started it probably for us when he first brought the Coons Mopar out, and we seen that in 2006. And then we wanted to go midget racing, and we was like, that's the car we got to go for, and that's why we had to step up, and we bought the C-mount special to go run with him and run against Todd Bonless and that. So Ross was setting the bar high, and Jack Berry was another one that set the bar high here.
Chaz Kelly
Always
down
had
here.
top cars, mate.
Chaz Kelly down here in Tassie, he's got a great collection as well. Like, you know, it's great to see these collections being built. That'd be awesome to see all these old cars back on the track. Imagine having 50 of them back on the track.
Yeah, we get
that'd
not
be
so
cool.
much. We get a few historics and classic midgets, so they're your 20, 25-year-old ones.
Yeah.
And that here, we have a couple of runs, Gatton, Booner, because I used to have an old Beast myself, 92 model Beast that Billy Boat used. That actually bought Chad, the guy I bought it off Ross Kenninger on a Ross's deals.
Yeah.
And we get to run a bit. The New South Wales get to run at Libo, Labiblo, or whatever where they run. Andy Pearce has his little collection in Victoria. Like, it's great to see these guys, and that's why I get passionate when they'll paint their cars, mate, because I want to have a hand in that history, and it's good to see them keep that history, mate.
Yeah, car wraps have really killed your business now, haven't they?
Yeah, they did once. That's right. Once before, I used to paint all that shit you see wraps do. We used to have to custom paint them, but
awesome. All right, Dave, thanks for joining us tonight. Stay with us. We'll finish the show and then we'll have a bit more of a yak, but thanks for joining us tonight. All the best for the week.
Thanks to you guys for making speed cars grow, mate. That's why I wanted to jump on here. Like, anyone that can make speed cars grow and get that information out there, mate, I'm fully on board, and he's top job.
We're trying,
thanks, mate.
we're trying our best,
Thank
mate. Yep. All the best for the rest of the season. We hope the Queensland Club has a great season for the rest of it. We hope you get your car out there shortly, man, and we'll catch up at Simpson, no doubt, because me and Paul will be at Simpson at the Australian title. Well, I'm going to be. I don't know about Paul. Paul will have time.
No, I'll be there.
Yeah. So we'll be there. So we'll catch up.
We'll have a Jack Daniels together, mate. Yeah.
Oh shit! Yeah, we'll have more than one, mate.
I got stuck into them sheepdogs. You don't want to know about that story of the sheepdogs at the last Australian title, mate. Very messy day. Very messy day.
All right, everyone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Thanks to all the people who've on the show again tonight. Next week we've got Aaron North from WA. I've already spoke to Aaron. He couldn't make it this week because of work commitments, but he'll be on the show next Monday night. So join us again on Monday night for another show. And until then, everyone, take care. Do yourself a favour. Get to Maryborough this weekend. Sorry, I had to look at where it was. And support your locals, ladies and gentlemen. Get out there and have a look at these speed cars, because these things are unbelievable. And Queensland's got good numbers. The track's a good track. And like I said, support your local. But until then, good night, everyone, and take care, and we'll see you all next week.
Good night.